Do you know someone who eats until they are uncomfortably full, then feels guilty, and promises themselves they will do better tomorrow? Do you find yourself finishing everything on your plate even when your body is telling you to stop? You are not alone, and you are not broken. A 2023 study from the University of Pennsylvania found that 73% of adults in Western societies regularly eat past the point of physical satisfaction, driven not by hunger, but by anxiety, stress, or the simple fact that food is in front of them. We have lost the ability to hear our bodies. We eat to fill emotional voids, to distract ourselves from discomfort, to numb the noise in our heads, and then we punish ourselves for it. The guilt comes, the shame arrives, and the cycle repeats. But what if I told you there is an ancient Japanese practice that can break this cycle? It is called Hara Hachi Bu, which translates to eat until you are 80% full. This is not a diet. This is not about restriction or deprivation. This is about freedom. The people of Okinawa, Japan, have practiced this principle for centuries, and they happen to have one of the highest concentrations of centenarians in the world. Scientists are now discovering that what they knew intuitively, our modern research can finally explain. I am Dr. Hannah, a relationship coach with 22 years of experience. I help people heal, grow, and improve their relationships. And I also research Japanese self-care methods to support modern research on well-being. Today, I want to share with you why this simple practice might be the missing piece in your journey toward inner peace. Leave a comment below and tell me, do you eat past the point of fullness? Let us talk about it. Here is what makes Hara Hachi Bu different from every diet you have tried. It is not about what you eat. It is about how you listen. Hara Hachi Bu, written as Fubafen, comes from the Okinawan tradition, one of the world's blue zones where people live exceptionally long and healthy lives. The phrase breaks down like this. Hara means belly or stomach, Hachi means 8, and Bu means part or portion. Together, it means to fill your stomach to 8 parts out of 10. Leave 2 parts empty. This practice emerged from Confucian teachings that emphasized moderation and self-awareness. In traditional Okinawan culture, meals were not just about eating, they were about mindfulness, gratitude, and connection. Before eating, families would say, Hara Hachi Bu ni isha irazu, which means, eat until 80% full, and you will need no doctor. They understood something profound. The space you leave in your stomach is not emptiness. It is freedom. The core principle is simple, but revolutionary. Your stomach and your brain are not synchronized. When you eat, it takes approximately 20 minutes for your stomach to send the signal to your brain that you are full. If you eat until you feel completely full, you have already overeaten. Your body is now working overtime to process more food than it needs, and you feel sluggish, bloated, and regretful. Hara Hachi Bu teaches you to stop before that signal even arrives. You stop at satisfaction, not fullness. You stop when your body whispers, not when it screams. This is where the Zen principle of Ma comes in. Ma is the concept of negative space, the pause, the gap that gives meaning to everything else. In art, Ma is the empty space that allows the painting to breathe. In music, Ma is the silence between notes. In eating, Ma is the space you intentionally leave so your body can function with ease. Think of it this way. If you fill a glass to the very top, any movement causes it to spill. But if you fill it to 80%, there is room for life to happen. You can move without fear. You can breathe without pressure. You can exist without constantly managing overflow. You might be thinking, but how do I know when I am at 80%? I have been ignoring my body's signals for years. That is exactly where the science comes in. Here is why this works at a brain level. In 2019, researchers at Stanford University conducted a study on interoceptive awareness, which is your ability to sense internal signals from your body. They found that individuals who practiced mindful eating techniques, including stopping at 80% fullness, showed a 47% improvement in recognizing satiety cues within just 4 weeks. The key area of the brain involved is the anterior cingulate cortex, which processes internal body sensations and integrates them with decision-making. When you eat mindfully and stop before complete fullness, you are training this part of your brain to become more sensitive. You are rebuilding the connection between your stomach and your mind. Dr. Susan Albers, a psychologist at the Cleveland Clinic, has extensively researched this process and found that it is not about willpower. It is about awareness. Your brain is not sabotaging you. It is protecting you by trying to ensure you have enough resources. But in a world where food is abundant, this ancient survival mechanism backfires. Another fascinating study from 2022 at the University of Tokyo examined the metabolic effects of Hara Hachi Bu. Researchers found that participants who practiced eating to 80% fullness experienced a 31% reduction in oxidative stress markers and a significant improvement in insulin sensitivity. When you consistently overeat, your body goes into a state of chronic inflammation. Your cells are constantly working to process excess glucose and fat, which accelerates aging and increases disease risk. But when you leave that 20% space, your body enters a state of metabolic ease. Your cells can focus on repair rather than just processing. The neuroscience gets even more interesting when we look at dopamine. A 2023 study published in the Journal of Behavioral Neuroscience found that people who ate until uncomfortably full experienced a sharp spike in dopamine followed by a dramatic crash, creating a cycle of craving and guilt. However, those who practiced moderate eating maintained stable dopamine levels, which correlated with higher reports of life satisfaction and lower rates of emotional eating. This is because your brain learns to associate eating with calm satisfaction rather than the extreme highs and lows of overconsumption. Think about that for a moment. Every time you eat past fullness, you are not just overfilling your stomach. You are training your brain to seek extreme stimulation, which makes normal satisfaction feel insufficient. You are teaching yourself that peace is not enough, that subtle contentment is not valuable, that you need more to feel okay. Hara Hachi Bu reverses this. It teaches your brain that enough is enough. That satisfaction is the goal, not stimulation. So how do you actually apply this? Let me give you a practical roadmap that you can start today. Week 1, the awareness phase. Your only job this week is to notice. Do not change anything about what or how much you eat. Just pause halfway through each meal and ask yourself, where am I on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of fullness? A 1 is starving, a 10 is uncomfortably stuffed. Most people discover they regularly eat to an 8 or 9 without even realizing it. Set a timer for 5 minutes during each meal just to slow down. Put your fork down between bites. Notice the texture, the taste, the temperature of your food. This is not about restriction. This is about reconnection. Week 2, the halfway pause. Now you start to intervene. Halfway through your meal, stop eating for 2 minutes. Just sit, breathe. Let your body catch up. During this pause, ask yourself, am I still hungry, or am I eating out of habit? You will be surprised how often the answer is habit. If you are still genuinely hungry after the pause, continue eating. If you are not, you have just discovered your 80% point. This is where most people fail because they mistake this pause for deprivation. It is not. It is liberation. Week 3, the plate strategy. Start reducing your portion sizes by 20%. Use a smaller plate if that helps. This is not about tricking yourself. It is about aligning your environment with your intention. In Okinawa, traditional meals are served on small dishes with multiple courses, allowing time between servings for the body to register satisfaction. You are mimicking this wisdom. Eat your smaller portions slowly, and then wait 10 minutes before deciding if you want more. Most of the time, you will not. Week 4, the integration. By now, you have data. You know what 80% feels like in your body. You know the difference between physical hunger and emotional hunger. Now the practice becomes about consistency, not perfection. Some meals you will nail it, other meals you will overeat. That is human. The goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to build a new relationship with food where you trust yourself to stop when your body says enough. Apply this beyond eating. In your career, practice finishing your workday at 80% of your energy, not 100%. This means you stop before you are completely drained. You leave work with enough fuel to enjoy your evening, to be present with loved ones, to rest properly. In your exercise routine, train to 80% of your maximum capacity most days, not 100%. This prevents burnout and injury while building sustainable strength. In your relationships, give 80% in conversations, leaving 20% space for the other person to fill. Do not dominate. Do not over-explain. Do not fill every silence. Let there be ma. In your finances, spend 80% of your income and save 20%. This creates a buffer, a breathing room, a safety net that allows you to move through life without constant anxiety about scarcity. Notice the pattern? Hara Hachi Bu is not just about food. It is a philosophy of sustainable living. This is where most people fail. They start strong, then life gets stressful, and they abandon the practice entirely. They fall back into all or nothing thinking. But Hara Hachi Bu is the opposite of all or nothing. It is about the middle path, the space between extremes. Here is what the deeper transformation looks like. A 2021 study from Harvard Medical School followed individuals who practiced Hara Hachi Bu for 6 months. They found not only significant improvements in metabolic health, but also a 52% increase in reported life satisfaction and a 41% decrease in symptoms of anxiety and depression. Why? Because the practice teaches you something far more valuable than portion control. It teaches you self-trust. Every time you stop at 80%, you are proving to yourself that you can listen to your body and act on what it tells you. You are demonstrating that you do not need external rules to govern your behavior. You are becoming self-regulated, which is the foundation of emotional maturity and inner peace. This connects to another Japanese concept called shoshin, or beginner's mind. Shoshin is the practice of approaching each moment with openness and curiosity, without the baggage of past failures or future anxieties. When you bring shoshin to your meals, you are not eating with the memory of yesterday's overeating or the fear of tomorrow's temptation. You are just here, now, with this plate, this hunger, this choice. This is the practice that was once taught in traditional Japanese tea ceremonies. Every movement was intentional, every sip was savored, every moment was complete in itself. You are not doing the tea ceremony, but you are bringing its spirit into your daily life. What you are really seeking is not weight loss or discipline. You are seeking proof that you are capable of taking care of yourself. You are seeking evidence that you can be trusted. You are seeking the quiet confidence that comes from knowing you can stop when you decide to stop. Not because a rule tells you to, but because your body and mind are finally working together. The ancient Okinawans understood what modern culture forgot. They understood that the body is not an enemy to be controlled. It is a partner to be listened to. They understood that satisfaction is not the same as fullness. They understood that the space you leave is just as important as what you fill. Hara Hachi Bu teaches you that you do not need to consume everything available to you. You do not need to maximize every opportunity, eat every bite, work every hour, or fill every moment. You can leave space. You can rest in the pause. You can trust that enough is truly enough. This is not about productivity. This is about peace. This is not about optimization. This is about freedom. You are not training yourself to eat less. You are training yourself to listen more. One pause, then another. then another, until stopping becomes as natural as starting, until satisfaction becomes more valuable than stimulation, until you realize that the empty space is not a void to be feared, but a gift to be honored. If this resonates with you, consider subscribing to this channel. I create content to help you heal, grow, and build the relationships you deserve, starting with the one you have with yourself. Hara Hachi Bu is not about restriction. It is about relationship. The relationship between your body and your choices. The relationship between your hunger and your habits. The relationship between who you are and who you are becoming. Stop at 80%. Leave room for life. Trust the space.